Salute, Nick family. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive game recap show. The season has started. I'm super excited. The Knicks played and won their first preseason game last night. How's the vibe this morning? Answer the poll that's in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Appreciate everybody that's joining me this morning. And of course, the replay gang. I appreciate you. Let's get to it. All right. So the Knicks have yet to play a preseason game, right? This was our first preseason game. Boston actually played and won versus Philly the night before. So that's probably why they sat pretty much everybody. Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derek White. Um, None of those guys played last night. And even for us, Brunson played 6 minutes. Randall played, I believe it was 13 minutes. Barrett with 16 minutes. Jericho Sims actually led the team in minutes last night. It was still a good game, in my opinion. I'm going to get right into my observations and then I'll check in with the chat. Let me know if the video is good, any issues with the video. Let me know any issues with the audio. Um, Thibodeau mixed it up a little bit. I thought he was going to go with his regular rotation and play them like 25 to 30 minutes a game. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. Like I said, Sims led us in minutes. Brunson played 6 minutes. Randall played like 13 minutes. And, maybe that's because these guys, there hasn't been a lot of changes since last year. They all played together. There really isn't any chemistry issues, that need to be worked out. This is just a matter of getting looks at guys, right? And so that was good to see. I know we talked about this on the Queen's Court last night. Tony Crow from Knicks and Bruises was saying, they're not playing their guys. So, hopefully Tibbs will expand the rotation. And the rest of us didn't think that would be the case. But he did. I don't think it was because of what Boston did. I thought this was the plan going in. Play your guys a few minutes. You already know what they can do. Let's see the other guys. I was surprised that Sims was the first player off the bench for Randall, right? We kept hearing about Josh Hart backing up Randall. Josh Hart didn't play, but you would think that it would have been RJ. No, at least last night it was Jericho Sims. He played, I think it was like 25 minutes. He didn't score, but he had 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He looked good out there. He looked comfortable out there. Excuse me. Not sure what's going on here. He looked good out there. He looked comfortable out there. He actually played the entire third quarter or most of the third quarter with Mitchell Robinson. That's something that we talked about as well on the Queen's Court. Like, there's no way you're playing Sims and Robinson together. They're basically the same players. Who's going to stretch the floor? Where are you going to get, shooting from in the front court? But they played together in that third quarter. Sims was kind of spread out, actually. And it looked okay. In the fourth quarter, Sims played with Hartenstein. So to me, I think Tibbs is just trying to see, can these guys play together? Can we get away with Hartenstein and Sims? Can we get away with Robinson and Sims? So they played a significant amount of time together. Now, it's a 9-man rotation. I didn't have Sims in the rotation. I don't know how many of us had Sims in the rotation. Is it possible? Is it possible that Sims now backs up Randall, taking Obi's minutes? And if that does happen, what does that mean for the minutes for our guards, where the minutes are already at a premium? We talk about Fournier being on the bench, making $18 million, not playing at all. If Sims is in that rotation and it goes to a 10-man rotation, somebody is going to be sitting on the bench, not getting a lot of minutes, getting under 20 minutes, 15, 17 minutes a game, if that's the case. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. But I like the idea of Jericho Sims backing up Julius Randle. I like the idea. If we can get if he can play with Robinson, when they stagger minutes, he can definitely play with Hartenstein. They did it when Robinson was out. I'm all for it. Let me know what you think about Sims backing up Randall. And if that's the case, are you okay with a Hart, a Grimes, a DiVincenzo, or Quickly getting less minutes? Because that would have to happen in order for Sims to get into the rotation. So let me know what you think about that. Fournier played 21 minutes last night, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He hit 3 3-pointers. Now, I didn't expect Fournier to play not 1 minute in this preseason. I didn't expect him to play at all. He played last night and he played 21 minutes. Does he have a shot at the rotation? I don't think so. I would be shocked if Fournier was part of this rotation. Again, we have so many twos. We don't have a lot of threes, but I anticipate we're going to go with a three-man rotation. I just don't see, you know, I see where he can fit. Don't get me wrong. I see where he can fit, but it would cost us, in terms of minutes for other guards on the team. So I don't see it. However, he looked good last night. He looked good. I thought he pulled back on a few shots that he could have taken. So I agree with him when he says he has what this team needs in terms of three-point shooting, though last season, before the rotation was shortened and he was taken out of it, he did not shoot the three-pointer well. But historically, he's a good three-point shooter. So I agree with him when he says, we can use the three-point shooting. And I don't know if he was alluding to the experience, but I agree with him as well. The Knicks can use some experience. The Knicks can use some players who've been around the league or been in the league for a little bit. All of that being said, I don't think Fournier will be in the rotation this season. Maybe he'll be situational. I thought he wouldn't even be situational. Remember, last season when RJ Barrett didn't play, Fournier started for him. This season, I didn't even think that would happen. I just thought that if RJ Barrett missed time, we would go with a three-guard lineup. He played last night, so maybe he's back to being situational. Maybe we will, maybe we will see him. We shall see. Let me check in with the chat before I get to my other point. Um, Dwayne Dennis, I appreciate you. That's a good point. It should be taken into consideration. And Hartenstein should be considered for backup power forward minutes. Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see that this preseason. A Mitchell Robinson Hartenstein lineup. I mean, again, the continuity is there. Let me just turn this off. The continuity is there. So you don't really need to see that starting lineup play a lot of minutes together. We already know what it is. They played that. They played together last season. So now is an opportunity in the preseason to mix and match, see different rotations. We'll see the three-guard lineups, I think, during this preseason. But let's see the big lineup. Let's see Hartenstein and Mitch together. Amani the Great, Minneapolis they'll be coming to us Saturday. Good morning. Do you know Boston never played? Yes. And we had our starters in the first half almost, and the game was close. Yes, I'm not reading too much into it. And again, we played our starters, but they didn't play a lot of minutes. Brunson played 6 minutes. Randall played 13 minutes. I believe RJ Barrett played 16 minutes. But yeah, I'm not reading a lot into the flow of that game. Salute Jerrell, Dope Soul Sports Talk resident panelist. Appreciate you. Keith Turner, we got guards making too much money for them to lose minutes for Sims. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, what do we think about that, chat? You playing Sims, one or more of those guards are going to lose minutes. Dale Sinclair, appreciate you. Good morning. Steph, can playing too much defense affect offense? Not necessarily, but if you have too many defensive players in the game who are also not offensive players, then absolutely it can affect your offense. If you got Mitchell Robinson and Sims, yeah, that's gonna impact your offense because most of your scoring is gonna come up top unless they score for offensive rebounds or if they're picking rolls and they're stretching the floor vertically for lobs. Yeah, it is gonna affect the offense. We don't have any threes. You're right. After RJ Barrett, you could consider, Evan Fournier a small forward. Jerrell said Sims can stay on the bench until he's needed. Okay. Dirty Dancer. Sim at the four was terrible, ruined our spacing. That's a great concern, Dirty Dancer. No doubt about it. Dale Sinclair, I'm concerned that we have not crossed over. Offense and defense is not sharp. You're absolutely right, but I expect that in the first preseason game. You're right. It just wasn't sharp at all. And we didn't shoot well. Now, for me, what I'm looking to see this season, and it's probably going to take 20, 25 games to kind of know what type of shooting team do we have. Did our shooting improve with bringing over DiVincenzo, with quickly, hopefully getting off to a good start this season, with RJ Barrett having played in FIBA, hopefully getting off to a good start. He shot the three ball well there. I know it's a little closer than the NBA, but maybe his three-point shooting gets better. Grimes, who shot well for us statistically last season, entering into his third season. Can the shooting get better? Because we're a good offensive rebounding team, you know, and we can shoot. That bodes well for us. So that's what I'm, looking for. Last night, though, it did not look well, as far as shooting is concerned. But it's the preseason. I'm not putting a lot of stock in it. Salute, Knicks are nice. I appreciate you. All right. Let me get back to just my observations. Nothing too deep today. Like, it was a preseason game, right? So I'll talk about some things, but as shout out to Jeffrey Klafter, as he said, can't really draw a lot of conclusions from what we're seeing in this first game. Mitchell Robinson looked bigger. He looked stronger. Now, I think it was last season, he was lifting weights, he put on some weight, and he really looked slow. Um, last night, he looks bigger, he played strong, but he didn't look slow. Let me know what you think about Mitchell Robinson. He didn't look slow at all last night. He played 24 minutes. He had 10.7 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks. You getting a steal from your center? That's great. He averaged point 0.9, almost a steal last season. Last night he had 2. That tells you that he's extremely active defensively. 3 blocks, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. So I just think the free throw shooting is what it is. I don't. Let's just kill that. With the hopes that it's going to get better. That is what it is. But otherwise, I thought Mitchell Robinson looked really good last night. McBride, I got to talk about McBride. So McBride was in the game last night, and he actually ran the point position. He had the ball in his hands, and he initiated the offense. And this is something that I want to see from McBride. Even in terms of his career longevity, you're not going to last in the NBA as a point guard at his size just playing defense. It's just not going to happen. You got to be able to run a team and play defense. Even if you can't shoot, that's okay. And last night he was 0 for 4 from the field, from the 3-point line, 3 for 10 overall. You got to love the confidence, right? 20 minutes, 10 shots. You got to love the confidence of McBride. But listen, Pat Beverly, and I'm sure there's some others we can point to, They're not good shooters, though Pat Bev has gotten a little better over the course of his career, but he knows how to run a team, and he's a good defender. If McBride is going to last in this league, you got to be able to run a team. And it was just really good to see him last night run the team, have the ball in his hands, initiate the offense. Now, I had concerns about if Brunson was to miss games, if Quickly was to miss games, who would be the next guy up as far as the point guard position? We have DiVincenzo. I don't think he's a traditional point guard or a point guard, period. I don't know what traditional means anymore. I don't think he's a point guard, but he can run the point if we need him to, if one of those guys were to miss a game. But it's just good to see McBride in that position. So, he played 20 minutes. He had 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, only turned the ball over one time. So I was encouraged by what I saw from McBride. Let me know in the chat, what did you think about McBride last night? And just overall, you know, we shot better than Boston, but we didn't shoot great overall. 45% from the field, just 31% from three. Like I said, I'm not panicking. It's the first preseason game. DiVincenzo struggled in the first half, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from three. Barrett was 1 for 6 from the field, 1 for 5 from three. He was 9 from 9 from the free throw line for 12 points. Quickly, just 3 of 8 in the first half, but then 8 for 14 in the game. So he turned it around in the second half. Grimes, 2 for 6. Played 22 minutes, 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. As Ron from Still Knicks fans would say, I need those ancillary stats from Grimes. And we got it. 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. And just lastly, before I check back in with the chat, it was good to see Hartenstein passing on display. He had 3 assists in the fourth quarter. It was good to see Jacob Toppin play. He had 2 blocks. It was good to see a lot of players play and get minutes, even if they weren't a lot. It was good to see the possibility with Sims. Not sure what's going to happen, but it was just good to see him out there. And it was good for me anyway to see McBride play the point guard position. All right, let me check in with the chat before we move this along. Mike Boy, appreciate you. Strange game from RJ. He was plus 17. Yes, he was. Jeff Klafter. Dante has the most adjustments to make. All his teammates are new. You're right, Jeff. And you could see him, struggling. He just didn't seem, I don't know if comfortable is the word. He didn't really seem in stride. But you're right. This was his first preseason game, and it was his first game with the Knicks. Everybody else played with each other. David L, appreciate you. We premiered Chuck. The shot attempts and amendments proved it wasn't JB, Vroom, or RJ. Duh. I'm not sure I understand. We premiered Chuck. Okay. Knicks are nice. Jacob was everywhere. He did. I really like IQ and Dante DiVincenzo together. Both can step up and initiate Dirty Dancer. I agree. I like that possibility even before the first preseason game. That both of those guys can play on and off the ball. So that makes your second unit a bit more dynamic. And DiVincenzo, he'll get better as as time goes along. Deuce has the same problem Obi had. Somebody is just in front of him. Keith Turner. I think it's more than that for McBride. I think him running a team is an issue, and I think the shooting is an issue. So I think it's a little bit more than that for Deuce. But it was good to see him getting minutes at the point running the team. That's going to help his development. As a matter of fact, I thought he would be in summer league. Not that he needed it, but that would just be an opportunity for him to get more reps running the team. Deuce and iHeart had good chemistry together. Yeah, they did. The bigs he went against wasn't fast. I guess he's talking about Mitchell Robinson. Remember, Mitch couldn't do cardio because of the injury. Yep. Ajay, these guys are professional players. They have to come to training camp. They have to come ready from day one. They have to come ready for the first preseason game on. Just saying. I mean, so I take it, Ajay, you had some issues with the fact that they weren't that sharp. Uh, I hear you, but also keep in mind the Knicks weren't playing in their usual lineups. They weren't hot. Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein, they don't usually play together. Excuse me, Sims and Hartenstein, Sims and Mitch, they don't usually play together, right? So they had some adjustments they had to make as well. Dante warming up every quarter, he was getting better. Yeah, yeah. Amani the Great. Come on, chat. I only got 9 likes. Yeah. That's right. I don't what yeah, we got 19 likes and 49 people. Come on now. Hit the likes. Brunson Brunson scored 10 points in 6 minutes. He didn't need to play anymore. Yeah, to your point, Ajay and Jerrell, Brunson was sharp. And Randall was sharp too. I mean, we'll get into that on the next slide. Randall was sharp in his 16 minutes. Ajay didn't like the Mitch Sims front line. Okay. All right. I hear you. All right. This was the top game scores for the Knicks. Quickly, 21 points, 3 assists, 3 steals. And his line, if you looked at it in the first half, his shooting wasn't great. But for the game, it was okay. Only 60% from the free throw line, though. Barrett, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. 16.7% from the field, 20% from the three-point line, 100% from the free throw line. I'm not going to read a lot into it. It's the first preseason game. Let's see, how it goes into the season. Randall, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 75% from the field, 50% from 3, 100% from the free throw line. He just came in his 16 minutes, killed it, and went back to the bench. Fournier, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 3-pointers, 40% from the field, 42.9% from the three-point line, which was the best on the team. And he did not go to the free throw line. We talked about the Knicks. They didn't shoot particularly well, though they did shoot better than Boston. Pritchard, Marcus Smart is not there. I think he's gonna find some minutes on this team this season. 21 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 4 3-pointers. Banton, who played with Toronto last season, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. I think he'll contribute to them as well. McHollick, I don't know if I got that right. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Not sure what that K is. And O'Shea Brissett, who played for Indiana last season, I believe. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I don't know if there's anything else in the box score to point out. We talked about Mitchell Robinson. We talked about Brunson. We talked about Grimes quickly. DiVincenzo, Evan Fournier. Yeah, it's nothing more really to say as far as the box score is concerned. As far as the team stats, the Knicks were out-rebounded last night. 58-50, so slightly out-rebounded. They were out-rebounded as far as offensive rebounds as well. I think we had 9, they had 17. That's not really like us. I'm not concerned, though. The Knicks were a top 5 rebounding team in the entire league, so I'm not concerned about the rebound. We had 7 steals. We're not a good steals team, so 7 steals, I'll take it. 7 blocks, I'll take it. 13 turnovers, we're a low turnover team, or at least last season we were. That should continue as well. Points in the paint, second chance points, they beat us at it. And you could tell. You could tell when Sims was in there, Hartenstein, even Mitchell Robinson, they were getting offensive rebounds off of them. But again, preseason game, I'm not reading a lot into it. We're one of the premier top offensive rebounding teams in the league as well. Mitchell Robinson led the league in offensive rebounds with 4.5, I believe. And on our team, Isaiah Hartenstein was second with 2.4. And then you had Josh Hart and Julius Randle. So as far as offensive rebounds are concerned, which is a big part of how we scored last season, I'm not concerned about it. We have those same players returning. And fast break points, what was that, 10-6? You know, the Knicks pace. They're not a good fast break team at all. Whatever we can get fast break points, consider that gravy. All right, before we get out of here, I'm going to check in with the chat one more time. This Saturday, October 14th, we play the Minnesota Timberwolves at MSG. Who knows who will play, right? It's hard to say who will play for us, who will play for them. But if they do play their players, we'll get a chance to see Cat. We'll get a chance to see Anthony Edwards, Gobert, and we'll get a chance to see our guys against them. So that should be a good test for us if they play their guys and we play our guys. Yes, he is. 1 second. Okay. Some people need to put in coaching resumes because they always complain win, lose, or draw, even in preseason. Calm down. Yes. I don't get the sense people are hyped, but otherwise, you're in the chat, you know better than I am. So I agree. Calm down. If I was McBride, I would choke Evan in the locker room. Why? David L. If I was Bride, okay. Toppin was hunting on defense, looked hungry. I loved his energy. Loved his energy. Don't remember seeing 2 blocks, but I loved his hunting in the post defense to contest. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Going and getting all high tech with the stat graphics. I'm trying. All right. We are almost out of here. This is where you can find me next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Sisters Talking Hoops. So me, Ebony, known on Twitter as Matt Knick Fan. She was on Queen's Court, not last night, but the week before. She'll be joining me. Lady and the Chef, Diva Lock, sometimes they're in the chat. They'll be joining me. BK Chris, those who used to watch Queen's Court when I first started, she was a guest there, so she'll be on it. So that should be a lot of fun. That's tomorrow, 7 p.m. right here on this channel. Thursday, the Just Nickin' It weekly show, the usuals. So that's always fun. And Sunday, 10 o'clock, I'll be back for the morning recap show, recapping the Minnesota game. I appreciate everybody for watching. It's always a pleasure. Let me shout out the chat. David L, Jeff Klafter, Ajay, Knicks are nice, Ally Wise, Keith Turner, David L, Mike Boyd, DKEJ21. Love it, love it. Thank you for joining us. Jerrell, if I didn't say that already. Mac S, Dale Sinclair, David L. Some of y'all I may say twice, and some of y'all I might miss. Y'all know my condition. Rome Farrock, appreciate you. Could the Knicks be showcasing Fournier and Sims as trade bait? I didn't think about it like that. I didn't think about it like that. David L didn't like Tibbs having Sims and Mitch on it's the preseason. This is the time. This is the time to see if it'll work, see how it'll look. Sometimes things don't look good on paper, but you put it out there and just see. I don't mind it in the first preseason game. Amani the Great, Minneapolis, I appreciate you. I think I got Dwayne Dennis. I think I got Tim Smith. Salute, Tim. I think I got everybody. I appreciate you all. Join us Wednesday for Ladies' Night. Come back Thursday for the Just Nickin' show, and then come back Sunday morning. I'll probably go a little later Sunday morning. I'll probably go around 10 o'clock to do that show. Until next time, family. Appreciate you.
You tune in, that means you're feeling the vibe. The bell rung, you already been subscribed. Right now, the queen, she on live. Right now. Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul Sporting with the talk. First lady from New York, New York. All my people, you rocking with the chat. That like button would tell me where you at. You know, step from the MBK. Born and raised up MBK. Hey, real lady, where she holding it down. No matter way how you feel, she gon' greet you with a smile.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?